Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Just a second. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naisthiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 6, Text 29. Tat idam yadava kulam वीर्यशौर्य श्रियोद्धतं लोकं जिघ्रिकक्षत्रुद्धं मे वेलयेव महार्णवः तद्इदं यादवकुलं वीर्यशौर्य श्रियोद्धतं लोकं जिघ्रुक्षत्रुद्धं मे वेलयेव महार्णवः तद्इदं यादवकुलं वीर्यशौर्यश्रियोद्धतं लोकं जिघृक्षक्षुद्धं मे वेलयेव महार्णवा. Translation, word to word translation. Tat idam, this very, Yadavakulam, Yadava dynasty, Virya, by their power, Shaurya, courage, Shriya, and opulence, Uddhatam, magnified, Lokam, the whole world, Jigrikshakt, threatening to devour, Ruddham, has been checked, me, by me, Velaya, by the shore, Eva, just as, Maharnavaha, a great ocean. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: that very Yadava dynasty in which I appeared became greatly magnified in opulence, especially in their physical strength and courage, to the extent that they threatened to devour the whole world. Therefore, I have stopped them, just as the shore holds back the great ocean. Purport: the heroes of the Yadu dynasty were so powerful that even the demigods could not check them. The enthusiasm of the Yadus was unlimitedly increased by their victories in dangerous battles, and they could not be killed. Due to their material spirit, they naturally desired to establish their power over the whole world. Therefore, the Lord checked them and withdrew them from the earth. Text 30. Yadi asamritya driptanam yadunam vipulam kulam gantasmi anena lokoyam udvelena vinakshati. Translation: if I were to leave this world without withdrawing the overly proud members of the Yadu dynasty, the whole world will be destroyed by the deluge of their unlimited expansion. Purport: just as a tidal wave overwhelms the boundary of the shore and wreaks havoc on innocent people, similarly, there was imminent danger that the powerful Yadu dynasty might expand beyond all boundaries of social and political control. The members of the Yadu dynasty had become proud because of their apparent familial relationship with the personality of Godhead. Although they were very religious and devoted to Brahminical culture, they had become, as indicated by the word driptanam, affected by pride due to their relationship with Krishna. Furthermore, due to their intense love for Krishna, they would certainly feel such intense separation after the Lord's departure to the spiritual world that they would become maddened and thus become an unbearable burden on the earth. Srila Vishwachakri Thakur has pointed out, however, that the earth herself, due to attachment for Krishna, would never consider Krishna's own family members to be anything but a welcome burden. Still, Krishna wanted to remove this burden. The example is given that for the pleasure of her husband, a beautiful young wife may decorate herself with many golden ornaments. This ornament constitutes a painful burden for the delicate wife. But although she is willing to bear this burden, the loving husband removes the ornament for the pleasure of his wife. So the Lord, desiring to apply the wisdom of an ounce of privation is worth a pound of cure, took precautions to remove the earth from the burden of the Yadu dynasty. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome today for Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are discussing on the 11th canto, chapter 6, text number 29 to 30. The title we can give is that why Lord Krishna checked the Yadu dynasty and removed its proud member. So here this verse reveals the divine intention and cosmic management behind the removal of the Yadu dynasty from this world. Often devotees are puzzled that why did Lord Krishna allows his own family member to be destroyed in this way from the world. So today what we are going to do is understand the spiritual explanation directly from Srimad Bhagavatam, that why Krishna did such kind of treatment to his beloved Yadu dynasty. So now let us first understand the context of this verse. In this chapter 6, Lord Krishna has just responded to the prayers of Lord Brahma regarding the burden of the earth. Brahma was concerned about maintaining the cosmic balance and asked Krishna to take necessary action. And Lord said that he has already done that by killing all the demons. Then Lord speaks to Brahma about the future of the Yadu dynasty, because even though Lord has removed the burden of demonic members, there is one more burden still remaining on earth, and that is the burden of Yadu dynasty. The reason is that the Yadus were so powerful physically, politically and socially that their opulence and courage were unmatched. Their strength had grown to such an extent that they will soon overwhelm not only the earth but also become the force that could destabilize the cosmic order if not controlled. So the Lord therefore declared that he must check this overhauling pride of the Yadu dynasty and protect the world from the pride and chaos of Yadu dynasty. So these are not just a historical statement; they are the spiritual lesson also, that how even spiritual power, when mixed with pride and identification, can become dangerous, even for those who are related with the Lord. So that's what today's discussion will be. So In this verse 29 and 30, let us first understand what the verse 29 says. Lord says, that very Yadav dynasty in which I appeared became greatly magnified in opulence. So what does it mean? It means that Yadus were not ordinary warriors or leaders. They had extraordinary strength. Their victory in battles and success in protecting Dharma were outnumbered. Their courage was unparalleled. But when power increases without restraint, even noble intention can become inflated with pride, and that can cause disturbance in the society. So, so the power should be restrained always. Second, Lord Krishna says that they are threatening to devour the whole world. So this is not just exaggeration. Factually speaking, the Yadus in this world are like the ocean. If the shore is not there, the ocean can completely destroy the humanity. So if the ocean is not checked by the shore, naturally the whole world will drown under the ocean. Similarly, the Yadus becoming so powerful that if they are not controlled, they can even destroy the whole world also. So it shows that if the Krishna is not taking proper care of them, then certainly they will be destroyed. Therefore, Krishna is saying that, therefore I have to stop them, just as the shore hold back the great ocean. Here, Lord Krishna is acting as a cosmic regulator. He is trying to ensure that the power does not overflow and cause pain or destruction. So, in this word, we can say that this analogy is given of a shore and the ocean, which mentions that ocean is good when it is checked, but the same ocean can become a cause of disturbance when it overflows. Similarly, a devotee or the community of devotee are wonderful as long as they are humble and submissive. But when the devotees become overly proud of their position and strength, naturally the same community of devotees can become the cause of trouble to the whole society. So here, with the words of Yadu dynasty, Lord Krishna is trying to indicate that whoever you may be, even the associate of the Lord you are, if the devotees or the associates of the Lord personally, if they are not humble and submissive, then certainly they will become the cause of disturbance to the whole society. And that is what Krishna is very much concerned about. Because here, the Yadu dynasty, if Krishna would have left this world without managing the Yadu dynasty, in the separation of Lord Shri Krishna, this Yadu dynasty would have become troublesome. To the extent that it is said here, without withdrawing the overly proud members, the whole world will be destroyed. Krishna is saying that the whole world will be destroyed. This is not just a physical destruction, but spiritually, if we see, pride, even for a devotees, can have a far-reaching consequences. Sometimes we may say that I am very dear to Krishna, or sometimes we may say that, oh, we are devotees of Krishna, so I can behave whatever way I like. But no, if we doesn't check our ego, then even though we may be a very close associate of our spiritual master, even a close associate of a very highly elevated spiritual organization, still that can cause a destruction of the whole society. So that's why sometimes we see that such people who are not spiritually strong, or those people who are not spiritually constrained in terms of their pride and infatuation of power, then certainly it leads to the destruction. So another example can be given of an Arjuna and Karna. Now, what is the difference between Arjuna and Karna? First, both Arjuna and Karna were powerful. But the problem was the greatness doesn't come with power. A greatness of Arjuna was that he was humble and surrendered to Krishna. Whereas Karna, even though he is powerful, but was not submissive. And because of that, even though having lot of power, lot of uh, skills, still he was destroyed. So similarly, as a devotee, we have to understand that even though we may be powerful person in the society, but if you are not humble and surrender to Krishna, that same power can lead to a person's downfall. So power without humility leads to downfall. So devotional surrender without ego, that actually preserves humility and harmony in the society. So that's what we have to understand. So power without humility is dangerous. As we see in the case of Yadus, they were so powerful because they were associates of Lord Shri Krishna. They have become so powerful. But because of that power, it is quite possible that they misuse that power. And that's why Krishna didn't wanted his devotees to go in that direction. And that's why Krishna removed them from that position. So in our spiritual life also, we may see that there are big personalities even in the ISKCON society. They may be very close associate of Srila Prabhupada at his time. But it is quite possible that the close association with great personalities or having great powers of institution, it is quite natural that if we are not controlled by humility or submissiveness, naturally the same power can dance on your head with the ego, and that can create a chaos in the society. So just to protect the society, that Krishna can remove that person from the society itself or from the devotional service itself. So removing such a person from the devotional service is not a sign of punishment, rather it is a sign of compassion for the Krishna itself. Why it is a sign of compassion? Because if a person stays within that organization or society with such pride in his heart or with such ego in his heart, certainly that pride and ego will lead to Vaishnava Aparadh. And Krishna doesn't want such great persons to fall into the trap of Vaishnava Aparadh. So sometimes we see that such great personality happen to leave Krishna consciousness altogether. We may say that, oh, this person has done so much service in the society, but now why he is not here? Why he has left bhakti? Factually speaking, it is Krishna's compassion upon him. Unless if Krishna was not compassionate, then he would have committed more and more Vaishnava Aparadh in that association. Rather, he would have destroyed the life of other Vaishnavas also. So Krishna, it is his divine plan that he remove that person from that place. So it is not that Krishna is punishing them. Rather, it is Krishna. That punishment is also, in one sense, a compassion of Lord Shri Krishna. So, strength must be regulated by love. If the strength is not regulated, okay, so that strength must be directed. Every devotee has certain strength. That means he is having some skills, some ability, some managerial power, ability, some talents, some influence. Every devotee has some special thing by which he can do service in Krishna consciousness. But if it is not properly directed, the same strength, the same energy can lead to the destruction of the personality and to some extent to the society also. So that's why Krishna, most of the times, he regulates the activity of his devotees just to protect that devotee so that he may not harm himself and in due course other devotees also. So that's why Krishna removes such person from the picture. Similarly, here the Yadu dynasty, even though they are the great associates of the Lord, still they were being removed by Krishna so that they may not harm other people of this world. So that is how we have to understand and look at the destruction of the Yadu dynasty. Sometimes people say, oh, these Yadus were killed or the Yadus were destroyed because of the curse of Gandhari. Now, who was Gandhari? Gandhari was a very chaste lady and wife of Dhritarashtra. She was having 100 sons called Kauravas. And because in this Mahabharat war, all the Kauravas or sons of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari were killed, Gandhari becoming very upset, cursed Lord Krishna, saying that you could have stopped this war, but you allow it to happen, and that's why you are the cause of the destruction of my dynasty. So I curse you that as you have destroyed my dynasty, your dynasty will also be destroyed. So that is how Gandhari cursed Lord Krishna. But our Acharya says that such kind of curse cannot have any effect on the Lord. It is not possible for an ordinary lady, even though he may be a chaste lady, even though she may be a very dharmic lady, the follower of dharma, but still her curse cannot have any effect on Krishna or his associate. It was when the Yadus have made fun of the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas, the great sages at Prabhas Kshetra. At that place, because the Yadus became so familiar considering themselves to be the associate of the Krishna that they even deride the respect to the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. So the Yadus went to such an extent of deriding even the great devotees of the Lord. So that is the place and that is the time where Brahmanas gave them the curse that their dynasty will be destroyed. So it is not because of the curse of the Gandhari, but it is because of the curse of the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. And that curse came not because of the anger of the Brahmanas, but it came because of the familiarity which Yadus developed with Krishna. Thinking that, oh, we are the devotees of Krishna, so I can behave whatever way I like. Sometimes it is seen that the devotees tend to disrespect demigods also by saying that, oh, these are demigods. Why should I worship them? Or why should I even go to the temple? Or why should I even give them the respect? Just like today is a special day called Vasant Panchami. Today is a very special day. Today is a day of many of the Vaishnava Acharyas' appearance and disappearance. And the Vasant Panchami is also one of the appearance day of Mother Saraswati, or the goddess of learning. So sometimes devotees think themselves that we are Vaishnavas. Why should we pay any respect to demigods? It is not required. Even though that is true, that the Vaishnavas need not worship the demigods, but that doesn't mean that they can disrespect the demigods. All the demigods are the devotees of Krishna. So that's why a devotee or the Vaishnavas are supposed to be respectful towards all the demigods. But if the devotees start thinking, oh, I worship Krishna, so why should I bother about all these demigods? Then it means that a devotee is trying to commit an offense, becoming disrespectful, becoming offensive towards other such great personality is a sign of pride among Vaishnavas. And that's how Krishna is trying to teach from the episode of Yadu's destruction, that even though you may be a great devotee of the Lord, even though you may be a great associate of the Lord, still, if you disrespect Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, you will not be spared from destruction. So that is what we have to understand and learn, that just being a devotee is not enough. Even though one become a devotee, but he becomes disrespect toward other devotees, naturally his destruction will come. Krishna will not tolerate that. And Krishna himself will destroy that person. There is no need for Maya also to do anything of it. Krishna himself will remove that person from the association of devotees. And we have seen such episodes in many of the people's life. That when the Vaishnavas start to disrespect other Vaishnavas, start to demean other Vaishnavas because of the pride, because of the position, because of the talent, Krishna generally removes such person from the association of devotees. It is his compassion on that person, because he doesn't want that devotee should commit more Vaishnava aparadha. So that's why we see that some devotees, they may come in Krishna consciousness, become very powerful, and after some time we see that they are no more to be seen. Why such thing happens? It happens because of this reason only. Getting familiar, getting disrespectful. Why? Because a sense of pride enters in the heart, considering that I am the devotee of Krishna. Certainly that kind of pride is expected, but the pride, if it's not controlled by humility, if the pride is not controlled by submissiveness, the same pride can lead to the fall down of a devotee. And that is what has been explained in these verses. Hare Krishna. I will stop here. So since there is a lot more time, we can discuss if anybody have any questions. Okay, no questions. Very good. Oh, you have. Okay. I thought, oh, you were thinking. Okay. Okay. Yes.
It seems that pride would work differently on different levels in one's devotional life. So, you drew attention to somebody being very powerful in the Krishna conscious society and then suddenly not being there. But then there's pride on different levels. So it may be a person that's still struggling to establish themselves in their Krishna consciousness that may also be proud. So it seems that the extreme measure taken by Krishna can be correlated more with the level of advancement of the person, rather than that it's just the factor of pride. So I'm just bringing in that point that there must be some correlation between the level of advancement of the devotees, because here the description is of the Yadus being so powerful that they couldn't be conquered by anyone. So their Kshatriya capacity was also very advanced. So it was a combination, I guess, of the strength of standing in the regular world plus I suppose, the danger of the pride setting in because of being unconquerable. So I'm just bringing up that point.
Yeah, that's true. That a pride can be on different levels. And it is not that all the people who are proud, Krishna will treat them equally. Krishna has different ways of dealing with the different kind of proud people. Once one of the devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, India being the land of spiritual path, why we see India is such in a poverty-stricken state, whereas the Western world, where dharma is not being followed properly, we see it is so opulent. Why it is so? Prabhupada says it is because they are meant to practice dharma and they are not practicing dharma. The more you have responsibility, the more you have expectations from you. So, India being a land of a dharma, it is expected from the people to follow the path of dharma, because they have been given that opportunity to born on that land. More responsibility is expected from them. But if they don't follow that responsibility, naturally they will be punished harder compared to those who doesn't have dharma in their life. So it is just like there are 4 varnas: Shudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya and Brahmana. But all these 4 people, if even they commit the same sin, a Shudra will have a less punishment, whereas a Brahmana will have more punishment. The reason is that a Brahmana is supposed to be knowledgeable. He is supposed to follow dharma. If he is also acting like a Shudra, then he will be punished more. Whereas a Shudra, he doesn't have knowledge. He doesn't have that understanding. So if he commits that offense, he will be punished less. That's why a devotee is supposed to be prideless. A devotee has much responsibility to show by his own action and activities. But if the devotee himself succumb to pride, then the punishment is more severe. And that's why we see that a normal sinful person can be forgiven by the Lord. But Krishna punishes more to a devotee who is acting like a common person. Why? Because there is an expectation now that you are a devotee. It is expected that you behave like a devotee. But if you don't behave like a devotee, the punishment is more. The more we are on the higher position, there is more expectation. If a common person perform any sinful activity, he will not be punished more. But if the same sin, if performed by a person on a higher position, then he will be punished even more. So that is how the pride is like that. If a pride for a common man will be punished, he will be punished for that pride, but not as much as when a devotee becomes proud. Because when devotee becomes proud, he can create havoc, actually. Just like it is said that who can destroy the world? An illiterate person or a literate person? Illiterate means uneducated, and literate means educated. So who has higher power to destroy the world? Not illiteracy. It is the educated who is destroying the world. It is not because of uneducation that the world is in a bad state. It is because those who are educated, they are not utilizing their talent in saving or serving the world. Rather, they are trying to exploit. An uneducated person cannot exploit much. Or even if he try to exploit, how much he can exploit. But if an educated person becomes corrupt, he can exploit the world like anything. So punishment is more for them. So that's how we have to understand that the pride is the punishment for the pride is different for different people. And for the Vaishnavas, it is more severe compared to normal people. I hope I am able to relate with you. Yes, Jitendra Prabhu.
I remember Srila Prabhupada said about Americans, he says, oh, they are Sudras with money. And then he also said about the police, oh, there are Sudras with guns. So that kind of resonated. Those are two things that came to mind, Prabhu.
Yes, thank you for that. Yes.
So it seems like with pride, it would be a good idea to surround yourself. It seems like with pride, it'd be a good thing to surround yourself with persons who you think can keep you in check. You know.
Sorry, I didn't get you what you said.
I said with pride, it seems that it would be a good idea to surround yourself with people who can keep you in check.
How is it possible?
Do you know what that means, keep you in check?
Keeping any check, yes, it stops us from behaving unrestrictedly.
Yeah, so it seems like it'd be a good idea to surround yourself with people, and you know, where you'd say, hey, if you see me becoming prideful, please let me know.
Oh yes, certainly.
Don't hesitate, just
tell me that I'm proud of.
Just tell me anything you see.
Yes.
You know, so that sadhu sangha to me is the safe place.
Yes, because that's how will be saved. If we have a good sadhu sangha, good association around us, then certainly an honest friend or honest devotee friend, he will naturally tell us, oh Prabhu, you are getting proud here. So he will remind us. And if we are not egoistic at that time, if we are not egoistic or having ego, then certainly we will accept the correction. But let's say the pride generally leads to ego also. And in ego, we don't accept our fault. Rather, we don't accept our fault. Rather, we justify what we do. So yes, it is a good idea to have people around us who will put us in check whenever we have pride. But most of the times it doesn't happen. The reason is that we became so much egoistic. We are not willing to accept that we are wrong or that we are pride. It is quite natural, because the pride leads to think that I am right and you are wrong. That is how the pride works. So yes, we should have nice friends, and we should accept their feedback also. We should have that kind of thing. Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki jai. Hare Krishna.